My dear friends, there comes a time in every life when we must learn to sit still in the middle of a storm. The winds will howl, the ground will shake, and the plans we thought were certain will scatter like leaves in autumn. And yet peace, real peace, can still be ours. It does not come from holding tighter to what is slipping away. It comes from opening our hands and saying, I trust life to unfold as it must. To be at peace with what we cannot control is not a weakness. It is the highest form of strength. The world teaches us to dominate, to conquer, to predict, to plan every breath ahead of time. But life has its own rhythm, its own pulse that does not beat to our timing. There is wisdom in understanding that you are not the master of every outcome, but you are the keeper of your own calm. When something unexpected happens, our first instinct is to resist. We say, this should not be happening. But the truth is, it already is. You see, pain grows larger in resistance, yet it softens in acceptance. Acceptance does not mean approval. It means acknowledgement. It means whispering to your soul, yes, this is happening, but it does not have to destroy my peace. Letting go is not giving up. It is letting God. It is allowing life to breathe where you once suffocated it with fear. You do not need to control every situation to feel safe. You only need to trust that even when the path is hidden, it still leads somewhere good. Faith is not about seeing the way. It is about believing there is one. When the world spins faster than your heart can handle, pause. Breathe. Remember, peace is not outside of you, it is within you. The noise may never fade, but you can learn to turn down its volume. The more you practice stillness, the more you will hear the quiet wisdom beneath the chaos, the voice that says, this too shall pass. Every uncontrollable moment carries within it an invitation to grow, to learn, to deepen your understanding of yourself and the divine order that shapes your days. You may not control what comes to your door, but you can control how you welcome it. You can choose patience over panic, grace over frustration, faith over fear. And know this peace is not a place you find once and never lose. It is a choice, one you will have to make again and again. When the waves rise, choose peace. When people disappoint you, choose peace. When life refuses to move the way you demand, choose peace. For it is in that choice, repeated each day, that the soul finds its rest and the heart learns to bloom even through the storm. My dear friends, there comes a time in every soul's journey when life reminds us that control is an illusion. We live believing that if we plan carefully enough, speak gently enough, or try hard enough, the world will unfold exactly as we wish. But life has a way of reminding us that it moves according to its own divine rhythm, not ours. The winds shift, the seasons change, and even the most careful maps can be blown from our hands by a single gust of fate. It is in those moments of uncertainty, when the heart trembles and the mind protests, that we are invited to learn one of life's most sacred lessons. How to be at peace with what we cannot control. Peace, my friends, is not the absence of chaos, it is the calm presence of faith. It is knowing that even when everything feels uncertain, something greater than you still guides your steps. To reach that peace, we must learn the art of surrender. Not surrender in defeat, but surrender in wisdom. It is the understanding that our strength is not measured by how tightly we can hold on, but by how gracefully we can let go. When you stop wrestling with what cannot be changed, a quiet freedom begins to rise within you. It is soft, it is steady, and it feels like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. Every human being longs for stability, for control over their world, because control gives us the illusion of safety. But when that illusion shatters, we discover something even more profound. That peace does not depend on circumstances, but on our ability to remain centered amid them. When we accept that some things, like time, loss, love, and destiny, will never bow to our command, we stop trying to fight the river and begin learning how to float upon it. Floating does not mean giving up. It means trusting that the current knows where it is going. You see, to resist the natural flow of life is to exhaust the spirit. When we argue with what is, we only multiply our pain. The storm will still come, but when we stand with open hands instead of clenched fists, it passes more gently through us. Acceptance becomes the bridge between suffering and serenity. It teaches us to whisper to ourselves, "I may not understand this now, but I will not let it steal my peace." That whisper, said often enough, becomes strength. So, when things unfold beyond your grasp, when people change, when plans crumble, when the world feels unsteady, remember that peace is not found by mastering the external. It is found by mastering the internal. Be still. Breathe deeply. Speak kindly to yourself. Choose to believe that what is meant for you will find you in its own time. For the truth is this: peace is not something life gives you when it behaves. Peace is something you carry, even when life does not. To be at peace with what we cannot control is to step into a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It is the moment we begin to see that life was never meant to be managed like a machine, predictable and obedient. Life is more like music, imperfect, spontaneous, filled with pauses and surprises that make the melody beautiful. When we try to force every note, we lose the harmony. But when we learn to flow with its rhythm, even the unexpected becomes part of the song. Peace begins the moment we stop demanding that life follow our script and start trusting that the story is unfolding just as it should. There is a certain power in stillness, a quiet strength in allowing life to move as it will. Yet many of us are taught to measure strength by control, by how much we can predict, prevent, or command. We are told to push harder, plan smarter, hold tighter. But control is not power, it is fear in disguise. True power lies in knowing that even if the world shifts beneath your feet, you will not lose your balance because your peace does not depend on the ground. It lives within you. The one who can remain calm when the future is uncertain has discovered a wisdom that no amount of control can buy. We must understand that uncertainty is not the enemy, it is the teacher. Every unknown moment carries the opportunity to grow in trust and grace. When things go differently than planned, life is not punishing you, it is shaping you. It is teaching you patience, humility, and resilience. It is showing you that peace is not about everything going your way, but about finding your way even when nothing goes as planned. We grow most beautifully when we stop trying to bend the world to our will and start learning to bend with it. In times of confusion, we often ask, "Why is this happening to me?" But a wiser question might be, "What is this trying to teach me?" When we shift our focus from control to understanding, pain becomes purpose and chaos becomes clarity. The challenges we cannot control often reveal what we most need to learn to let go, to trust, to keep faith. They strip us of our illusions so that we can finally see what truly matters. The peace that cannot be taken by circumstance or shaken by fear. My friends, control may comfort the mind, but surrender frees the soul. When you stop trying to fight what is already unfolding, you allow yourself to feel the gentle rhythm of life moving through you instead of against you. You begin to understand that peace is not a destination to be reached, but a way of walking, a choice made in every breath, every thought, every heartbeat that whispers, "I am safe, even here, even now." When something unexpected happens, our first instinct is almost always to resist. We feel our bodies tighten, our thoughts race, and our hearts fill with protest. We say, "This shouldn't be happening," as if our words could turn back time or rewrite what already is. But the truth, simple and unyielding, is that reality has already unfolded. Our resistance does not stop the wave, it only exhausts us as we fight against it. The moment we stop resisting is the moment we begin to heal. Acceptance is not a surrender of spirit, it is an act of wisdom. It is the quiet acknowledgement that while we cannot always choose what happens to us, we can choose how we meet it. Acceptance does not mean that you approve of pain or that you invite difficulty into your life. It means that you face the truth with open eyes and an open heart. To accept is to whisper, "Yes, this is happening," and in that whisper lies a subtle, sacred strength. It is the strength of those who endure loss yet keep loving, of those who face uncertainty yet keep moving forward. When you accept, you remove the sting of denial and allow healing to begin its slow, steady work. You begin to breathe again. You begin to see clearly again. Acceptance allows peace to re-enter the room where chaos once lived. Many people fear acceptance because they think it means giving up. But acceptance is not giving up, it is growing up. It is seeing that life is not here to obey you, it is here to teach you. You can resist the lesson and stay in pain, or you can accept the moment and evolve. Every difficult situation, every disappointment, every loss carries within it a message meant for your growth. But the message can only be heard once you stop arguing with what has already come to pass. Acceptance turns pain into a teacher rather than an enemy. You may think that holding on gives you control, but in truth, holding on too tightly only deepens the wound. The more we cling to what we cannot change, the heavier our hearts become. Yet when we release our grip, we find that what we thought was loss is sometimes simply transformation. Life has a rhythm of giving and taking, rising and falling, and you cannot hold onto one half without missing the beauty of the other. By accepting this rhythm, you free yourself from the burden of constant struggle. So when life does not go as you planned, pause and breathe. Say to yourself, this moment may not be what I wanted, but I will not let it destroy my peace. Because peace is not found in controlling what happens. It is found in controlling how you respond. Acceptance opens the door to that peace. It does not erase the storm, but it allows you to stand within it, calm and unbroken, knowing that no storm lasts forever. Letting go is one of the hardest lessons the human heart must learn. We cling to people, to plans, to outcomes, believing that if we just hold on tight enough, we can make life bend to our will. But life, in its infinite wisdom, teaches us again and again that some things are not meant to be held. They are meant to be released. Letting go is not an act of weakness, it is an act of faith. It is saying, I trust that what is meant for me will remain, and what leaves was never mine to begin with. In that surrender lies an extraordinary kind of peace, the kind that cannot be taken away by circumstance. We live in a world that glorifies control. We are told that success belongs to those who manage every detail, who plan every step, who refuse to let anything slip through their fingers. But the truth is, control is a fragile illusion. The tighter we grip, the more we suffer when things fall apart. Letting go is the courage to release the illusion of control and allow life to unfold naturally. It means trusting that even when we cannot see the bigger picture, there is a greater order guiding it all. The universe is not chaotic, it is purposeful, even when it moves in ways we do not understand. When you let go, you create space for peace to enter. You stop trying to force what isn't working and begin to notice the quiet beauty of what is. You start to see that you do not need to control every outcome to live fully. You begin to understand that peace and control cannot live in the same house. Control demands tension, but peace requires trust. And trust is born from the knowledge that life has carried you through every storm before, and will carry you through this one too. There is freedom in surrender, a kind of lightness that comes from no longer trying to fight the inevitable. When we stop clinging to what we can't change, we free ourselves to embrace what we can. We can choose kindness in the midst of disappointment. We can choose faith when fear whispers in our ear. We can choose gratitude even in loss, knowing that every ending clears the space for a new beginning to take root. Letting go is not a single act, it is a daily practice. You will have to remind yourself often to breathe, to trust, to release. Some days you will let go easily, other days you will feel your fingers ache from holding on. But each time you practice releasing your need to control, you grow stronger in spirit. You begin to understand that peace is not about changing the world. It is about changing your relationship to it. And in that quiet change, in that gentle surrender, you will find the freedom your soul has been searching for all along. When the world spins faster than your heart can handle, pause. In that pause, you reclaim your power. Breathe deeply and remember that peace was never meant to be something you chase. It is something you return to. The world may move in chaos, but you do not have to move with it. You can be still even when everything around you trembles. You can stand firm in faith even when the ground beneath you feels unsteady. Peace is not found in the quieting of storms. It is found in learning how to remain calm within them. The noise of the world is constant. It pulls at you, distracts you, overwhelms you with worries and expectations. But beneath that noise, there is a silence that belongs only to you, a silence where your spirit rests, where truth lives, and where calm begins to grow. The more time you spend listening to that quiet space within, the less power the world has over you. Inner peace is not the absence of challenges, it is the presence of perspective. It is knowing that even when things seem to fall apart, you are still whole. When you learn to turn down the volume of the outer world, you begin to hear the voice of your own wisdom. That voice whispers softly, reminding you that not every battle deserves your energy, not every opinion requires your response, and not every storm needs your fear. The peace you seek cannot come from controlling others or predicting tomorrow. It comes from releasing the need to know how everything will unfold and trusting that no matter what happens, you will be able to handle it when it does. The more you nurture stillness, the more you become the calm in the middle of life's storms. The world may not slow down, but your spirit learns to walk at its own pace. You stop being tossed by every wave of uncertainty and start flowing with the tide instead of against it. Each time you pause before reacting, each time you breathe before speaking, each time you choose understanding over anger, you strengthen your peace. And that peace becomes a shield, protecting your joy and grounding your heart when chaos tries to steal your balance. Remember, you were never meant to control every force around you. You were meant to master the one within you. The storms will come and go, the winds will shift, the people and circumstances will change, but the calm you cultivate within can remain. Every day offers you a choice to be consumed by the noise or to rise above it with grace. When you choose stillness, you choose strength. When you choose peace, you choose power. And in that sacred stillness, you will hear the truth that has always been waiting for you. You are safe, you are guided, and you are enough. Even when the world forgets to be gentle. Every uncontrollable moment in life carries within it a hidden invitation. It whispers softly, will you grow or will you resist? Life does not send challenges to destroy us, but to shape us, to strengthen us, and to awaken parts of ourselves that could not be born in comfort. When you encounter something you cannot control, you are being given a chance to practice patience, to deepen your faith, and to expand your understanding of what it means to be human. Growth rarely happens in ease. It happens when you are stretched, when the old ways no longer work, and when you must find peace not through circumstance, but through surrender. Every difficulty, every unexpected turn carries a lesson. Sometimes it is a lesson in humility, reminding us that we are not the center of the universe. Sometimes it is a lesson in compassion, teaching us to be gentler with others because we now understand their pain. And sometimes it is a lesson in trust, showing us that even when things do not go our way, life continues to unfold with purpose. The hardest lessons are often the ones that guide us toward our greatest growth. But to receive those lessons, we must stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? It takes courage to look at life's disruptions with an open heart. It takes even more courage to believe that every challenge has meaning. Yet, those who find peace in the uncontrollable have learned this truth: life's plans are wiser than ours. The very things we thought would break us often become the moments that build us. What once felt like chaos becomes the seed of transformation. You begin to understand that pain and peace are not opposites. They are partners in your evolution. To grow through acceptance means allowing yourself to feel fully without losing your balance. It means acknowledging pain but not letting it define you. When you embrace the uncontrollable as part of your journey, you take back your power. You stop waiting for life to be perfect before you choose peace. You realize that you can learn, heal, and become more even in the middle of uncertainty. Every time you meet chaos with calm, you rise higher in understanding. Every time you choose patience instead of panic, you strengthen your spirit. Life will never stop offering situations beyond your control, but it will also never stop giving you the opportunity to grow through them. You may not be able to change what happens, but you can always change what it means to you. Growth through acceptance transforms pain into wisdom, struggle into strength, and confusion into clarity. It teaches you that peace is not about escaping life's storms. It is about learning to dance in their rain, trusting that each drop is washing away what no longer serves your becoming. Peace is not something that simply arrives and stays forever. It is something you must choose, moment after moment, day after day. It is not a single act or a sudden revelation, but a continuous practice, an intentional return to calm in the face of chaos. Every morning when you wake, you are offered the choice to allow worry to lead you or to walk hand in hand with peace. And though the world may tempt you with anger, impatience, and fear, you have within you the power to choose differently. You can decide that no matter what happens outside of you, nothing will disturb the stillness within. Choosing peace daily means learning to pause before reacting. It means recognizing that not every challenge requires your battle, not every insult needs your response, and not every storm demands your attention. There is wisdom in stepping back, breathing deeply, and allowing things to unfold before you engage. You begin to understand that peace is not found in controlling what others do. It is found in mastering how you respond to them. The one who has peace within is the one who has power, for no one can shake a calm heart that has chosen to remain grounded. Some days, peace will come easily. You will wake up grateful, the sun will shine gently, and everything will feel in harmony. But other days, peace will be something you have to fight for. It will mean silencing the anxious thoughts that tell you everything is falling apart. It will mean reminding yourself that you are safe, that you are capable, and that things have a way of working out even when you cannot see how. On those days, peace becomes an act of courage. It becomes the choice to stand still when fear urges you to run, to breathe when frustration begs you to explode, to trust when doubt knocks loudly on your heart. Choosing peace daily also means forgiving yourself for the times you forget. You are human, and peace is a practice, not a perfection. You will stumble, you will lose your calm. But each time you return to peace, you return stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. The practice of peace is like the practice of love. It deepens with time and devotion. It is a muscle you strengthen by using it. So, when the world tests your patience, when people disappoint you, when plans fall apart, pause and remember peace is still available. It does not depend on the weather, on people's approval, or on the perfection of your days. It lives inside you, waiting to be chosen again. Choose it in the small moments, choose it in the hard moments, choose it when it seems impossible. Because peace chosen daily becomes not just your response to life, it becomes the very rhythm of your soul. And so, my friends, as you walk through this unpredictable world, remember that peace is not a destination waiting somewhere beyond the horizon. It is a companion that walks beside you if only you invite it. You will not always have control, and that is the quiet mercy of life, for control burdens the heart while trust sets it free. Choose to meet life as it comes, not with fear, but with faith. Choose to breathe deeply in the face of chaos and to stand still in the presence of uncertainty. When you do, you will find that peace was never lost. It was simply waiting for you to remember it lives within you, steady and unbroken, guiding you gently through every storm.